Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 Manager 22 career mode here with Alfa Romeo. This is part number 10 for the British Grand Prix. My home race, of course, not the teams or any of our drivers, but my home race, so I want to try and do well. But before we delve into this, and before you delve into the rest of the episode, if you did miss the previous one, by the way, at the Canadian GP, then go check that one out before you see this one, because that was, well, a roller coaster of emotions in terms of a race for our drivers. But it was a sensational one as a race overall, because we had the race winner getting the win literally on the last lap as they crossed the line on that last small straight out of the final chicane off the Wall of Champions, overtaking across the line. Absolutely simply amazing. But for all that race, Bottas was actually fighting for P1. In the end, as you all know, suffered a big error and it really blew our race. But that is such the way this game is, unforgiving, but that is the highs and lows of Formula 1. Overall, we lost a little bit of ground to Mercedes then in the Constructors' Championship. You can see 135 points to 119. But, I mean, there were some positives in that. The fact that Bottas was actually getting up there was very promising. The car is steadily improving. Bottas is getting seemingly even better into grips with this car. But the annoying thing was with Joe, I thought we did the best by him, I think, in terms of strategy. And he didn't really deliver in the way I thought he would at Baku. Baku was very promising. And I thought, okay, can we string together now some races where he does well? But Canada, I felt I did the best I could with him. And he just didn't deliver. And maybe to the annoyance of people who want to see me do better with Joe's strategy, I have simply had enough now. I am now bored of this whole storyline of trying to get Joe as best we can. I'm having to risk strategies, risk maybe what we're doing with him just to get him higher, and that in turn is maybe making him perform worse because he's not in his comfort window, he's overdoing the tyres or whatever, or the ERS or the fuel or whatever the case. And just to change things up, 10 episodes in, I've seen plenty of other creators already change up their teams dramatically. We've we've actually stayed quite mellow and quite vanilla so far with the pairing that is currently the IRL pairing now for Romeo. But I have taken the executive decision. We are going to be swapping out Joe. We are going to be signing someone else, because I want to see us scoring good double points, and I really want to take the fight to Mercedes, with both cars, and I want to be trying to really make a mark for that third place in the Constructors' Championship. And I want to make, as being from Britain, I want to make a statement ahead of this home race by bringing in a new driver. Now, the question is, what driver is that going to be? Now, in terms of engineers we're scouting a Haas race engineer and an AlphaTauri engineer. I don't actually know which one Ed Regan, I don't actually know which driver he is supporting right now in Haas. I know that Pierre from AlphaTauri, Pierre Hamlin, is Pierre Gasly's race engineer. We're already scouting him, so we'll find out a bit more about his kind of contract needs and where he stands, but he's open to negotiation. So that got me thinking, I know it's a little bit cheeky. It's, playing a little bit of a, political kind of cheeky game with a rival, with another midfield team. But let's go for the double whammy. Smash and grab at AlphaTauri, ruffle the feathers of the Red Bull family, as it were, and let's go for the driver that Pierre Hamlin is engineering for, as well as him maybe, once the scouting is done. And we're going to go ahead and try and sign Pierre Gasly. Of course, you guys know, if you watch me for a while, we have some history with Gasly. To many people's regard, they maybe think I actually don't like Gasly because we've had so many rivalries and bittersweet ones in the F1 game, the normal Codemasters games. But I actually really like Gasly IRL as a driver. I think he's underrated. I think he's kind of, wasted talent at AlphaTauri in that Red Bull family sister team. So I'm sending it. I'm full sending it, and we're going to try and sign Pierre Gasly, and then also his engineer from AlphaTauri once that scouting's done. But I've got no scouting info on Gasly, but I am just going to shoot my shot and see what he says. We're going to really play it. This is big risk because I don't know where his salary and bonuses stand or whatever. I'm just going to have to go for this. His patience is very high, so that means we've got maybe 4 goes at sussing out what he's going to accept. So let's go for it. I'm going to base it also off Bottas's contract. So Bottas, he's 87, so he's a bit higher, and also obviously he came from Mercedes, so he's, you know, quite a high up driver. So we're paying him an astronomical salary of 18 million right now, a bonus of 1.8 million for just getting 5th place alone, just 5th place, which is kind of mad. So I think we can play around with that, probably going for, you know, I would say maybe a little bit less race bonus and actually a higher bonus threshold, because I think this is pretty ridiculous that it's 5th place is getting him 1.8 million. But the salary, I would say, looking at his stats, the name of Bottas, having been at Mercedes, I'm gonna go for the ballpark with Gasly if I had to guess. I don't know. So obviously car number 2, I'm gonna go for a 2-season offer because my thinking is, well, it says with our board of directors, or the board above us in the game, that in 3 seasons time they want to be podium contenders. In 3 seasons, I want to be hopefully doing a bit more than that. So I think 2 seasons, you know, kind of like similar contracts to what Sainz got at McLaren. Sainz even got a Ferrari with maybe an option for a 3rd year. You know, Vettel as well, Alonso, 2 year, you know, gives you time, you know, that 1 year to bed in. Then the second seasons where you're fully integrated with the team, comfortable with your engineer, and you go for it. So I think 2 seasons. Salary wise, right, we're paying 18 million to Bottas. You know, in terms of, like, let's go for, first of all, the bonus. The bonus for starters coming to the team, I would say, if we're paying 1.8 million for a 5th place, I think a starting bonus of welcome to the team of, I don't know, 1 million, maybe, or maybe half that, you know, 1.8, so 900 for a starting bonus, and then the same for the race target bonus, because effectively you're getting a race target bonus as a starting bonus, but I would say matching that, half of what we pay Bottas for 5th place, but instead we're going to put this for 3rd place, so I want to see him get a podium, and he can get half of what Bottas gets, and definitely when we come to renegotiate Bottas's contract, I want to slash that bonus, because that's just ridiculous in my opinion, that we started off, the game gave us that contract of, you know, 1.8 million, 1.8 for a 5th place. We're getting that consistently now with Bottas. He's probably absolutely laughing at us. He's making bank off us right now. So I'm going to go for those bonuses. Salary is a little trickier. I don't have any info on what his salary is right now at AlphaTauri. His patience is very high, so we can play around with it. It's difficult though, because he is a race winner. Obviously, he didn't have a great stint at Red Bull, but he's very underrated. He's a big talent in Formula 1. Guan Yu Zhou's contract's like $500,000. So I don't know. Pierre Gasly, I want to say 7 million? 7 million. Let's try 7 million. You know, number 7 just sounds like a nice number. 7 million for a salary for a driver like Gasly. I think, you know, 18 million for Bottas. That is a lot. I reckon we could get that down in his next contract. So let's just see how this first offer goes, and then we'll go from there. Hopefully we can get this done in 3 rounds of negotiations, because if we don't, then we could blow this entire operation of getting Pierre Gasly. Sending proposal. Right. Likes. Oh, okay. We've got, okay, contract declined. He is good with car number 2. He is okay with 2 seasons, okay? He's okay with his salary. He's really good with this and this. And he thinks 3rd place is achievable. This race position is achievable. So he's okay with that. So, in reality, maybe we need to get one of these in green, because you have I think how it works, I'm going to guess maybe off the top of my head, is majority of these need to be green. So one of these needs to get green. So we either lower the bonus threshold, or we bump up his salary, or bump up the contract length. That is non-negotiable. I only want to give him a 2-year contract. Salary or bonus. Now, if I was to bump up his salary by, I don't know, 1 million, you know, maybe, you know, it's just over a race bonus. It's kind of almost the same thing, but obviously he's getting that consistently. Or do we do the bonus? Do we just lower the bonus threshold and know that he's going to get that a lot? Let's try that first. Let's lower the bonus threshold to 4th place. See how he goes with the salary. The same salary. Maybe bump that up a little bit. Let's bump that up to 7.5. 750. And then we're going to go to the bonus, 4th place. Let's see. He's got a patience of high, so we've got maybe one more good chance with this. Go for the contract, send the proposal. Let's see. Okay, okay, okay. No. Damn it. Okay. We're going to have to really bump up the salary then. And the this didn't change, so we may as well put this back to 3rd place. We need to really bump up the salary then, I guess. Or move this down drastically. I'm going to go up to 10 million. If we're paying Bottas 18 million, then I think, you know, 3 rated lower than Bottas, and he's getting paid 8 million less. In reality, if you kind of, you know, did it in ratios, you would actually have to pay him more in terms of, like, you know, what my intuition would be saying. I think also, just, it sounds like a nice number. Number 10 getting 10 million a year from us at Alfa Romeo. Let's go for it. I really hope this pays out, because his patience is medium. Please, Pierre. Please, please come to our team. I'm begging. I'm on my knees. Come to the team. He's happy with the salary, and he's going to accept the contract. Get in. Come on. Yes. Yes. Welcome, Pierre. Hashtag welcome, Pierre. Hashtag full gas. We're going to hire him. It'll cost us 3 million because it's break contract for the buying out the contract of, I guess, his AlphaTauri deal. Then also breaking Guan Yu Zhou's contract, which is not a lot, which is only 146k. And then the starting bonus of 900k. And we're paying him a 10 million salary, which is 8 million less than Bottas. And he's still, I think he's going to be able to give Bottas a better fight maybe as a teammate, but we'll be quite close. And I do think he can grow as well as a driver. So I am happy with this, and I'm just happy to inject a bit of interest into this episode with this hire. I think this will give the season a bit of life in terms of, you know, not having the same races with Guan Yu Zhou, you know, down the order and Bottas up there. I want to have now both drivers up there and giving us a bit of a headache almost to manage at the same time, but equally taking the fight to Mercedes. Hiring, yes, 3 million. Firm handshakes. Firm handshakes. Look at that. Look at that. He is an Alfa Romeo driver. He's been taken away from the shackles of the Red Bull family. And now he is his own man away from Helmut Marko. And we can see what we can do with him in 2 years. I am very excited about this. We're going to our important email as well, because at the end of last episode, our side pod design got complete. So that's pretty damn good. The ATR period's now ended. So we have, well, we actually didn't use enough wind tunnel time. So we can actually use even more wind tunnel time than we used in that last period. So that's something to know. Even though I feel like I bumped it up, we can do more basically with that. But now, car development, a new project on manufacturing, because I need to manufacture these new side pods. So we're going to make 3 of them. First of all, or actually no, we may as well make 4 to make the spares. They'll just take longer, obviously. And 8 days and 16 is not bad. So I'll do a normal approach, just not to overspend too much. And there's going to be more expertise gained by building that. And I'm happy to wait 8 days. So it won't be in time for this next Grand Prix, but maybe for the next one. We're exceeding expectations by the board, and I'm sure they're going to be happy. And I think in a race or two's time, they'll agree with my executive decision to change up the team, to bring in Pierre Gasly. And the question is now, who do AlphaTauri bring? Because Guan Yu Zhou there, he is a free agent. He's got no tag to his name, so he's going to finish his season with 24 points unless he was signed by AlphaTauri. But we don't know who AlphaTauri are going to sign yet, because everything else is seemingly the same for now. So who are AlphaTauri going to go for? We've got 1 development point for Pierre Gasly as well as our new signee, so we can add that on. So in terms of what he's maybe weak at, smoothness maybe, in terms of reducing the tyre wear, that's something that I think is going to be very important. It was something that Zhou was not great at, so let's add that on to 80 smoothness. For that, so that's awesome. 1 development point straight away. We've not even turned any wheels with him, and this just looks sick. I'm actually so gassed with this decision. And then we're going to go ahead and look into designing another part, because we've now got a slot open for designing. We could even now, we're at June, and I did say halfway through the season we would research maybe for next year's car. So actually, let's hold off on that, because we've got a new rear wing on the way, which should be super low drag. Let's research a bit for next year. So there's a minor technical change for the front wing next year. And then the rest of it is not changing. So let's go ahead and research for a front wing. I'm going to use all the wind tunnel time for this entire period in one go, I think, because I think we're fine to waiting to the next ATR period to use. I mean, let's leave maybe a little bit. Let's leave 22 there available, and then CFD hours. Let's use a lot of them. Let's use 2. Let's leave 2. Let's leave 1.5 on the table. So everything we're being boosted as much as we can with the amount of, like, resource we're chucking at it. So in terms of front wing, we're losing 30% in low speed, 20% in medium speed, 10% high speed, and airflow sensitivity 10, -10. So we're looking to try and reduce that effectively. So in terms of the balancing, if I bring down brake cooling, that will boost everything else, and we're still getting a benefit from the brake cooling, and we're kind of calm on brake cooling. I feel our car, we've never seemingly have had an issue with that. And then airflow at the front, if I boost that, that's simply going to, well, it still improves everything really. So actually that's a gain there for everything else, but here is a gain for the airflow front. So if I bring that down, that's still an improvement of sorts. So let's go to let's just bring that down by 1 click. I think that's the balance we're going to go for. And engineers, we've got 4 available. I'll stick all 4 onto that, and that research will be done by August, which is really not bad. 2 months time. That's pretty decent. Research cost nearly basically $750,000. That's good. I'm happy with that. Let's go for that. So it's our very first research project. And poor chair has altered gain 2 development points, so we can spend those right now. So what is going to be, well, what is very low? Reactions. I think that's quite important as a young driver to get a reaction added on. And to be honest, why don't we just boost that by 2? Because, it'll affect his response at high speed. So we need to grow all these stats basically over the course. So it's not going to affect things long term. We add 2 onto 1 stat. We're trying to grow all these stats for poor chair. We've got an email about his contract expiring soon, so they're saying we should renew it probably before we get too late in the game. So he is. Let's look to renew it. He's open to it. So reserve driver. 1 more season as a reserve driver. His salary right now is 380, so let's just boost that to 450. I think that's going to be fine. Lump bonus of 10k. Let's see what he does. Let's see what he says with that. He's surely going to be happy with that because he's happy with the team right now. Yeah, he's fine with that. He doesn't want 1 season, but because obviously we're looking to maybe eventually bump him up to the full racer, I don't know. Right now, he's maybe not seeing the bigger picture, but he's happy with that, so we'll renew the contract there with poor chair. So, some really good dealings done in this episode in terms of finances, drivers, and designing stuff. So now it's time to go into the Grand Prix with the race preparation. So, qualifying position is P10 and higher. Reach Q3, Q2 with that. Guaranteed. Oh, no, I don't want to guarantee fastest lap. Finish for position number, just 1 driver in the top 10, that's fine. And then we reset our qualifying streak because obviously Joe actually got knocked out in quali in Canada, so I think that reset us. We've got 1 day, also before our CFD simulator and wind tunnel come in. We're going to go ahead and actually upgrade some other areas of the facilities. Race simulator, I want to try and upgrade that to level 3, 2 million. Let's go for it. We're spending a lot in this episode, but I just feel like it's going to be very useful. Weather Center, I think that will be useful for us. 1.5 million, let's spend that. So you've got to spend money to make money, and in terms of the cost gap, we're still very calm. We're still very calm. So 2 upgrades coming in 1 day, or 1 day in 16 days, and then we've got 2 more on the way, Race Simulator and Weather Center. I'm happy, really happy with that. So a big spending episode going into this British Grand Prix. Let's hope the race weekend can, continue this good feel vibe I'm having. So FP1 simulated with Porsche in for Bottas as per usual, and we give Gasly his debut into Alfa Romeo by going out there for that first session. Verstappen picks up a penalty, it would seem, in FP1. I don't know what for. Obviously, being the British Grand Prix, there is some rain there. Gasly, P5 there. Porsche P11. Now it's a little bit harder to know how Porsche is doing versus a yardstick like Joe, but still, it's just good to get him in these sessions, basically. Bottas being the far more experienced man, he's not being affected by these FP1 appearances at all, or disappearances rather, for his sake, and appearances by Porsche. So let's see now. So in terms of setup knowledge, 29 for Gasly, 32 for Bourchier. So actually the youngster did a bit better of getting that setup confidence, but I'm sure now when we take the manual practice 2 and 3, we'll be able to get both these guys up as high as we can. And there he goes. Pierre Gasly leaves the pit lane for the second time, not the very first time, but for the second session. But it's the first time we're seeing it in front of our eyes. I'm going to send out Bottas as well to kick off this FP2. But it's so good to see number 10 on the car, and I'm so excited by this. 90% confidence for Gasly on the setup. That's a good baseline. We can fine-tune that and try and fine-tune that in FP3, and Bottas won't be too far away from getting his, and his will be, 79. Okay, a little bit of work to do for him. I feel like we may have gone the wrong direction, actually, with him, potentially, because it was a bit touch and go with what direction I went with for one of the parameters. But that's going to be pretty much it at the end of the session, so we may as well call them both in and call it a day for FP2. Come back in FP3 and see what we can do. And Guan Yu Zhou now has picked up a penalty for AlphaTauri, so not a great day for the Red Bull family and the sister, both sister teams there. That's going to be a big dent also. I didn't mention it really. That's going to be huge. Big dent for the championship, maybe, for Verstappen. I mean, he already lost that to his teammate when he should have been the one trying to win it last episode. So that's going to play into 100%. 100% self-confidence for Valtteri Bottas. What? What's PS 95, but that's the first time I've got 100%. That is insane. So practice will end. Bottas and Gasly very, very equally matched there in P6 and 7. That is positive for us versus Mercedes. Alpine looks strong, though, with both Alonso and Ocon going better than Russell. But obviously, these two only did medium and hard tire runs, so they might have more to show, which is maybe concerning in a way, because we did a soft tire run at the end. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe they brought upgrades. Clearly, I mean, they clearly have in the last couple episodes, Alpine, because they've kind of come back into that top 10 fight and have annoyed us in our battle with Mercedes. But overall, 100% setup confidence, 95 for Gasly, the new boy. That's very, very promising. Right, they're on their first runs in Q1. Bit of traffic for Gasly because he had to just overtake Albon in the middle of Magnus and Beckett. So that wasn't ideal for him. So I'm not actually expecting his first run to be insane because he literally got held up for the entire sector. Bottas has had a clean run, so he may well just get his lap time in. So unfortunate for our debutant, but let's see. I mean, yeah, he got held up so much. 5.5 seconds. I mean, I don't know what Albon was doing on his run because he was nowhere. I don't know what he was doing. And then for Valtteri across the line, and that's a lot more like it. That's a lot more like it. So Gasly's on his second run, and he's got Albon for company again in the same section of the circuit. We need... he's going to hold him up. He's going to hold him up. He's going to hold him up. I need to take manual control almost. Give manual control. Oh, God. Okay. I need to confirm. Push. I need to go almost overtake mode here. Overtake mode. No, he's going to hold us up. 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 What is happening? Albon, get out of the way, man. Come on. Oh, my God. You little. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. Our new signing. And he's been done by Albon. My teammate in F1 22 career mode has just ruined my this career mode. It's a green and a yellow sector. It's not going to be... He's going to be knocked out. He's knocked out. He's knocked out. Wow, Albon. Oh, Albon. You are getting fired, my friend. That is all Albon's fault. That is all Albon's fault. And I'm sure so many of you are going to be laughing at me now because Joe's P11. But that was clear as night and day. Albon's fault for holding us up. I thought I put him in a good amount of space, but lo and behold, the car ahead of him was the Williams again. Right, Bottas started his flying lap for Q2. Obviously, the aim is Q3. We're going to put that disappointment aside from Gasly's side of things because I know that wasn't his fault, wasn't our fault. It was just Albon's fault. I've stayed in with Bottas, so I don't think we need to go again. I think we're safe. I think we're safe. We've got a margin of 3/10 there. Let's see. Map view. They're all coming through now at the end. Let's times 8. So let's see as they come through. Alonso, Russell. Okay, we should be safe. One more position. Yeah, we're safe. We're good. We're good. Through to Q3. Guan Yu Zhou through to Q3 as well. But he's got a penalty. Bottas his first flying lap, and he's got a bit of traffic of the Red Bull and I think a Ferrari. I think he may have already passed him. Yeah, he passed a Red Bull and Ferrari on his flyer. Traffic's not been our friend here at Silverstone. Through the last few corners, I mean, let's see. I mean, Sainz had a bit of a slow lap. 2.8 off his teammate. Bottas, 9/10 off. Ahead of Russell right now. And Perez and Sainz. Got a bit of time to find, though, to Hamilton. 4/10 to be exact. I think we can find that. How interesting. Guan Yu Zhou is the car right ahead of us in Q3. I swear to God, if we catch him on this lap and we get held up. No, we're good. We're good. We're not going to get held up. Let's ×2. Let's see. It's a yellow first sector. Green in the second. Let's hope that's going to be enough. Right now, though, we do sit P5, but I'm sure plenty will be improving their lap times. Sainz goes better for P2. Bottas across the line. It is an improvement to get ahead of Alonso. But now it's about what Perez and Russell can do. Perez goes quicker. Russell, what can he do? Can he go quicker than Bottas? No, he cannot. So Bottas does stay in P6. Ahead of the two Alpines. Behind Hamilton. Or on the same row as Hamilton, rather. So that fight is game on once again. Race strategy-wise for Bottas, 1 stop. It would seem maybe a 2-stop is available. So maybe the AI are going to be doing that. So I think, again, like we've done before, Miami, Spain, maybe there's half a chance we can get some positions with a 1-stop versus the 2. But I don't know. Now maybe the AI is sussing out the 1-stop as well. For Gasly, I was thinking alternate. But maybe we just go with medium hards and just try and do overtakes on circuit, on the mediums. And just kind of use his pace that he should have as an 84 rated driver. I'm just gonna see how his pace is. I just want to see. I don't want to do anything experimental with hard tires at the start. I just want to see honestly how his pace is. Can he overtake? Can he get up into the top 10, you know, within the first couple of laps, and then settle down and try and maybe close up it even and try and bridge the gap to Valtteri and have a double point scoring finish.
The drivers there lined up on the grid under mostly sunny skies. And there's Valtteri Bottas. Not as close to the front as they might have wished for, but we know the race order can change a lot during those first few corners. And it's the second Alfa Romeo there. They're in the back half of the pack, so they'll need to work hard if they want a podium finish. And we're just moments away now. Hold on tight, it's the British Grand Prix. And it's lights out.
It's our first British Grand Prix on the game. Going to go full out attack for both drivers. Let's see what's what on board with Valtteri. Need to get these off my screen. And oh, Ferrari's wide. Ferrari's wide. Ocon's alongside us. Gasly's in the pack, trying to get Lando Norris early days into Village. On the outside, Bottas there still battling the Alpine and pushing him out with the elbows, and the Ferrari of Sainz gets squeezed out. He's down to P3. Nice. Perez P2. It's Perez v Leclerc, just like it was in the Canadian Grand Prix. Valtteri may be able to go for a move here on Hamilton on the inside. No, not quite, not quite. Gasly, where is he? P15. We got, the Aston Martin, but we got shoved off a little bit by Lando Norris, it would seem. Valtteri, is he going to go for a move? No. Hamilton may, though. Overtake mode in this early stage of this race, just to try and maybe make a move. Let's see. No, not quite, not quite. We'll stay in harvest there.
Okay, Valtteri.
And Gasly, he's got clear air behind him, so now it's just about attacking the cars ahead. And Gasly is making a move on Norris. We joined just at the right time. But the McLaren's putting up a real stern fight. DRS enabled, though, now. So now that might change the game for Pierre. Here he goes. DRS open. We're on neutral ERS, though, so we're just kind of keeping it calm, not overusing it. And Gasly finally gets Norris in the middle of Maggotts and Beckett's, you know. Oh, stunning move for our new driver, our new number 10. Gets Lando, and on the back of his old teammate, I think Tsunoda, battling the two Haas cars. Meanwhile, up ahead, Hamilton just overtook Sainz, so that might leave Sainz vulnerable here as they're fighting, maybe overusing ERS. We've got breathing room behind, so we can sit behind and harvest. But Verstappen is going to eventually get Alonso, you'd say, and then he'll come chasing after us. So I think we actually need to maybe make this move sooner rather than later, to be honest, just to get it done and give us a bit of a hurdle almost. Inside, okay, I'm just going to keep on harvest. Harvest as much ERS as we can. Then can we go overtake? Let's go, attack.
We can try to use overtake end of straight.
Let's go. No. Oof, had to lift off there because of Hamilton. What happened there? Come on. All right, slam dunk. Lewis is outside the DRS. Let's go. Get him. No DRS for Lewis. DRS for us. And we're through. And at the right time, because Verstappen's now clear of Alonso. Just about. Alonso's going to attack him a little bit. But now, neutral.
Nice work.
And I'm just going to tell Valtteri to keep on pushing. We just need to try and push away, really, from Hamilton. And Gasly gets Magnussen whilst we're looking at that. And it's another move in Magnussen Beckett's. He's loving the Magnussen Beckett's move, you know. Very unorthodox place to make a pass, to be honest. But he's loving it. And does he go on to maybe try and get the other Haas? Potentially, but we don't see it in the replay, I don't think. Maybe not. He maybe went for a move on the inside. But our team are loving our new signing. Bit of, you know, not the way we wanted Saturday to go, but we put it behind us. Early days in this partnership, and there's the move on the Haas up into P12. Now on Tsunoda as well. He's not got DRS, I don't think, on the next car ahead. So the DRS opens. Can he make a move on the inside? No, doesn't go for it. Doesn't go for it. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. We'll be a bit patient. It's fine. It's fine. Meanwhile, what's Valtteri saying? Hamilton. Ooh, we're pulling away from Hamilton, actually. Pretty okay. And he's now got Verstappen for company. Okay, I'm hoping Hamilton and Verstappen fight. If they do that, I'll give us a bit of breathing. Let's go aggressive and just calm this down a bit, or stand it even. And calm this down a little bit. Just because I don't want to overdo the tyres at this early stage. Pretty much everyone went for mediums. We're 2% lower than most, so we need to just calm that down a little bit. But these guys are going to come at a rate of knots. Look at that DRS. Look how powerful DRS is when you're not in it. And Hamilton sends one down the inside. Difficult times. Gonna have to try and defend that a little bit with aggression. And Gasly,
oh, good.
He's got Tsunoda now. We just missed that overtake, but I'm pretty sure he just did that into Stowe. Good move there. Gasly on the precipice of points. Let's look at the replay. There's a yellow flag, but DRS on his old teammate flies by. It's a good first stint. Good first stint to get, you know, what's that? 4 or 5 overtakes done. Yellow flags altered. I don't know what that was for. But now Gasly, let's attack in this clean air and close up to Ricciardo. Use a bit of fuel burn and see what he can do to close up. Right, lap 7. Right, lap 7 sit rep. Gasly has now got within 1 second of Ricciardo. We have used a lot of fuel, so I'm going to go conserve whilst we're in DRS range, just to save some fuel and stick with him with DRS, because Russell's also potentially someone we're racing up the road. So pretty good stuff in terms of our battle versus Mercedes. And meanwhile in Bottas's world, well, somehow he's managed to stay ahead of these guys. I don't know how, but I don't know for how much longer he'll be able to do that. And Gasly sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix while saving fuel. Good stuff, good stuff. I'm going to tell Valtteri to attack now. I want to close the gap to the Ferrari just to try and get DRS to help us, because Sainz is in no man's land. Perez and Leclerc, they're very close. So that battle in Canada is, well, Leclerc wants revenge. Perez wants to embarrass Leclerc again by getting him maybe in the last stages. It's early doors, though, in this race. Very early doors, lap 8. But let's try and close on the Ferrari. Meanwhile, Gasly, I'm trying to save fuel whilst behind Ricciardo and Russell and using this 4-second gap to good use. All right, he's got good fuel now. We're going to go back to balanced. And now I'm going to say attack. And our plan of trying to bridge the gap to the Ferrari Bottas did not work, as you might imagine, though, to be fair. We are in Alfa Romeo. He's in a Ferrari, but it has meant we're ahead still of Hamilton and Verstappen, who are just squabbling enough to let us a bit of breathing room. But eventually we're going to have to save this fuel that Bottas has incurred. And, oh, God, this might be it. Oh, please no, please no. Oh, Verstappen, though, goes for it. Oh, what a view that is. What a view this is. What a view this is. Verstappen up to P4. Meanwhile, Gasly, there was an attempt on Ricciardo. Not quite. Right. Going to push on the fuel. Overtake mode. We've got plenty of ERS here to get the McLaren on the outside. Let's go. Yeah, lovely. Harvest around the outside. Can you finish off the move, please? Pierre, come on. I trust you. I trust you. Keep your foot in. Keep your foot in. Neutral now. And then overtake. Overtake mode. Because then we can get Russell as well. Okay, Harvest, actually. Let's keep this behind him. Verstappen's going to get Bottas here with DRS, I'm sure. I'm sure of it. Yep. But Gasly could get Russell. Push on fuel. Overtake mode. Let's blast through him. Let's go. Pierre Gasly gets the Mercedes up into P9. Now let's go attack. use a bit of fuel,
Push,
neutral, and let's try and pull away from the Merc if we can. Meanwhile, Leclerc sets the fourth lap of the Grand Prix. He remains ahead of Perez. Sainz now is closed in range. Bottas somehow remaining ahead of Verstappen, and Hamilton's lurking around still. And Verstappen has finally passed Valtteri. Thought it was going to happen eventually, and it does. In the first sector, on the outside. Pretty simple move, to be honest. Verstappen's not really in our fight, though. We care about that silver arrow, but Verstappen's not really in our fight. Gasly v. Brussels is brewing. Verstappen has re-overtaken Bottas again. How did that happen? We must have re-overtaken him then, that must mean. Oh, yeah, we did. We re-overtook Verstappen then, and we actually set the pass after the Grand Prix with Valtteri, and then Verstappen got us back. Interesting. Interesting time. Bottas retakes Verstappen. Bottas is really good at re-overtaking cars that should be pulling away from him. Back down the inside of Verstappen. Nice. Meanwhile, Gasly just got re-overtaken by Russell. Let's see, though, if he can repay the favour and re-get him. Ricciardo's right on his rear end, though. We've just about got DRS. Just about DRS. Let's go aggressive. And Pierre does get back past the Mercedes car. DRS open on the inside. Now, I'm just going to kind of leave him there. And the same with Bottas. And just hope they can find a bit of a rhythm. Get to that kind of duller part of the race where nothing's really happening as they all kind of plateau a bit. But they're loving life. They're loving it. And Hamilton now gets Bottas as we fall away a little bit with the DRS train. We don't have DRS off Verstappen anymore. And the Alpines now are getting involved. We need to stick with Hamilton, though. We need to stick with Hamilton. Overtake mode for us to get past Hamilton. Come on, come on. Close, but no cigar. But we're keeping up with him. Verstappen comes in, though, early. That's an early pit stop for him. So we'll stick with Hamilton. Gasly, what's he doing? I think he just passed Russell. Yes, he did. He repassed him. Ricciardo's in now as well. So I don't know if they're doing 2 stops or not. What's Verstappen on? No, set of hards. Okay, he's just doing an earlier 1 stop. Right, Bottas and Hamilton have been swapping left, right, and centre. This might be the final time, though, because Bottas gets through, and then Hamilton does lose a fair amount of time braking and kind of tightening up his corner. And now I'm going to tell Bottas to flat-out attack because we're entering our pit window. I've already told Gasly to do that. So respectively, we're trying to stay ahead of the Mercs before the first round of pit stops for Gasly and Bottas. Right, I'm going to pit this lap with Gasly. We're going to go deploy an ERS, drain that, and push hard. Meanwhile, for Pierre, for Valtteri, we'll continue on and try and stick with Sainz if we can. Okay, good in lap for Pierre. That was a purple first sector, green the second. Good in lap from him. Good in lap. Right, Gasly's in. It's a very long pit lane. Very, very long pit lane. Fastest lap for Gasly, even though he was in the pit lane. That's mad. Right, comes in. Okay, 3.4. Could be better. We do need to upgrade our pit crew. That's one thing I forgot to do this episode. We do need to upgrade our pit crew. But now as he exits the pits, completed. Right, what's he on now? Gonna go harvest. I need to attack on this outlap. We need to stay ahead of Russell. We can't fall behind him. And then with Bottas, he's pushing so hard, he's caught up to Sainz. Might even overtake Sainz. Bottas, will he go for the lead here? No, his DRS closed, unfortunately, because he jumped out of the way there. But Sainz is now holding us up. Sainz, does he come in? No. Bottas now having to contend with Hamilton as well. This is very interesting, actually. Very interesting battle. Okay, Bottas has been overtaken by Sainz and Hamilton. Hamilton is now P1 all of a sudden. I don't really know what's actually happening in this race, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. Let's watch this overtake, but I can't tell what the strategies are for people. But Hamilton right round the... Oh, look at that! 3 wide. What a battle that was at Luffield. Wow, the crowd were going crazy for that as Hamilton makes a double overtake. Sainz comes back at him. Oh, can we get Sainz? Oh, Sainz pulls into the pits. Right, I think this is a good time now. Harvest for this first bit of the lap. And then we'll deploy for the rest of it. Deploy for the rest of it. Push in on the fuel and pit in this lap. Hard tyres come in. Right, Gasly. We're pushing hard. Let's see where Russell comes out. Russell's coming through. It's going to be close. It's going to be very tight. Very tight, but we've got him. We've got him. We've got ahead of Russell. Right, calm. Standard, balanced, and now we calm down and settle down for this hard tyre stint. That's exactly what... That's literally all Gasly has to do now, is settle down. Bottas sets a purple first sector. And he's got Hamilton. He overtook Hamilton on that lap. On the in-lap here. That's good. Let's see. Hamilton comes in as well. Where's Hamilton? Oh, there he is. Oh, no. Come on, get out ahead. No! Oh, we do need to improve the pit stops. We do need to improve. That's 2 episodes in a row. I need to stop forgetting. I need to write a note down on like my desk or something. Because we're now behind. Well, I mean, we would have. I don't know. I don't know where we'd have been with Sainz and Verstappen, to be honest. But we're P7 at the moment. All right, sit rep on lap 27. Well, Bottas just overtook Hamilton there. Leclerc is leading by a decent margin, and there was a lapped car that held up Hamilton and allowed us to slip by. But you can see how tight this pack is with the Alpines, the Merc, the Red Bull. So Leclerc leads from Perez, 1.7 gap. There's a train of then Sainz, Verstappen, Bottas, Hamilton, Alonso. Ocon gets held up by a lapped car, and we're going to try and catch Ocon if we can with Gasly. Meanwhile, we'll harvest DRS now with Bottas. Whilst we're in this train, may as well, because we've got a little bit low battery charge there. Oh, it's close. Oh, Alonso is close to us. We can't pull away from him. And we're now losing time to Verstappen. We're outside that window. We are best of the rest. This would be best of the rest position with the 2 Red Bulls and 2 Ferraris at play. So this may be the maximum we're racing for today with Bottas. Going to be close with those guys. Meanwhile, Gasly, 3.8 to Ocon and 1.4 to Russell. We're trying to get away. I'm hoping he gets held up by the Williams here. Please, yes. We need to pull away from Russell and try and catch Ocon somehow. Okay, sit rep on the situation in this race. It is getting crazy. Lap 31, Leclerc still leads, but now Sainz is trying to go for a move on his teammate. And whilst he does that, the Red Bulls might follow him and try and pounce. And we are there in the background in P5. There's literally going to be no, if this continues on, it'll be nose to tail racing from P1 down to P7, which is just ridiculous. And Bottas is in the middle of all of that. Gasly is closing in on Ocon. Right, Gasly is here now, lap 34. Here we go. Getting the Alpine. It's been a mega recovery drive considering where he was. Knocked out in Q1, remember. And now he has a chance to have a go at Ocon. Let's attack him. Let's go for it. DRS open. We should get this slam dunk on the inside. Come on. Use a bit of ERS even if we need to on the exit. On the inside of Stowe. Where is he? Where is he? There, we're through. We're good. Right, carry on attacking now for a bit. Let's pull away from him. Meanwhile, Bottas is just watching this top 4 fight. And because we've got a gap behind, I'm going to go light and protect the tyres for Valtteri. Use that gap, just in case these guys are doing a 2-stop. Because I don't know if they are or not. And it's side by side for the Ferraris for the lead of this race. Sainz now leads the way. He's overtaken Leclerc. It's still a 1-2 for Ferrari, though, but the Red Bulls are very close behind. But there's a 4-second gap from Alonso to Hamilton scrapping, so I'm using that to save these tyres. Alonso's span at turn 6. Alonso with a spin, and it's fighting Hamilton. This is... Oh, no! Oh, Hamilton took Alonso out! The controversy! The 2 old rivals, old teammates from way back in the day, and Leclerc and Perez are in. Leclerc and Perez are in, so they are doing a 2-stop. Bottas, we are staying on a 1-stop with Bottas. Don't know about Gasly, because we have pushed him very hard on these tyres, to be honest. But the only reason I've done that is because he's actually gaining on Alonso now off that spin. So he could get up to P7 even. Well, that has changed a lot in this race. That's mad. Right, Bottas up to P2. Verstappen's pit. So now it's just Sainz. This is where we start to just go standard again, just to bring the pace up again. Ocon's annoying Gasly's coming back at him, unfortunately. The 2 Frenchmen join at the hip, but they're both catching Alonso here. So that's at least a good, that's a positive. Bottas P2, Sainz 2.8. Don't know what, I mean, I don't know if Sainz is pitting or not, I don't know. He's gone quite a lot longer now than his teammate Leclerc, who's now battling Russell, and Verstappen and Perez are both there as well. They're all in the same shot, and they've all got to catch Ocon, Gasly, Alonso. Don't know. I'm sure the Alpines are here with us on the 1-stop. So is Hamilton, it looks like, maybe potentially. So nice to see a very split strategy today, potentially. Right, Verstappen just got Ocon. So there he is in relation to Gasly right there. So I don't want to fight this too much, but at the same time, we fight it a lot. We could do Valtteri some good. So actually, we might want to overfight this with Gasly and try and keep Verstappen behind, because then we'll help out Valtteri in P2. Right, I'm going to tell Gasly, I'm going to tell him to hold cars back behind. I want him to hold up Verstappen, because Verstappen could ruin our 2nd place. I think genuinely Verstappen could climb up to P2. How long can he do this? How long can he hold this up? On neutral ERS. Use a bit of overtake mode here. Ah, he's got past him. And there goes Perez, unfortunately. Red Bulls have too much pace for us. They are on fresher medium, so it is kind of fairs. Now our fight returns with Ocon. Right, I'm telling Gasly to conserve a bit of tyres because I need to keep some for the end of the race. Leclerc, I've just now have to accept that these cars are inevitable. Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc on quicker compounds, quicker cars. They're going to always pass us, so let's not even fight this too much. Let's save fuel. I mean, Leclerc gets held up by traffic there, so that could help us. That's going to help us. We'll save fuel, save tyres whilst they get held up by that lapped car. And harvest. Save it all to try and maintain what would be a P8 ahead of Ocon and Russell. Right, Leclerc's probably going to go for it here. Let's go harvest. Kind of give him the easy overtake. Come on, go down the inside, mate. Go down the inside. Get us. Get us. What are you aiming for? Oh, ho, ho, there we go. Good overtake for Leclerc. Back out of it, back out of it, back out of it. Gasly, come on. That fight's not with us. Right, standard, neutral. Right, stay in his DRS if you can. That'd be useful. DRS open, might even re-overtake him here, actually, ironically. Not what we need. Yeah, no, that's what we need. Just stay behind him, and then we'll see what we can do here. Oh, God. I'm worried about Ocon and Russell getting him.
That's 6 laps to
Just
go.
because I've pushed him. Look how hard I've had to push him. Because when we closed up to Ocon early in the race, I had to go attack mode for like 3 laps, and that really took his tyres out. So that's the only frustrating thing here. But we've got a bit of fuel now to play around with, which is a good thing. Meanwhile, with Bottas, things are quite calm in his world. P2, what's the gap? 10 seconds to Sainz. So Sainz is dominating, absolutely dominating this one. But we're in a comfortable P2 ahead of Hamilton, 5 seconds, who's now being caught by Verstappen, but there's not enough time, I don't think. Maybe for those guys. Leclerc says fast up the Grand Prix. Gasly remaining in P8. And Gasly's now actually sticking with Leclerc. Maybe his tyres are not that great on the mediums anymore. We've got a 3.8 second gap to Ocon, so we're all good. It's now really about, can we stick with Leclerc in DRS behind Alonso? And can we get Alonso maybe? I don't know. Right, last lap of the Grand Prix for Bottas. Going to go deploy, see what he can do. Flat out attack, fuel, deploying ERS. And then with Gasly, Leclerc's fighting him. Oh, Leclerc! Last lap, overtake on Alonso. But I need them to fight a bit. Alonso losing a bit of time. Can we now catch Alonso? Maybe. Carlos Sainz is going to win a very dominant British Grand Prix. He wins in real life at the British Grand Prix. He wins here in the game. Good stuff for him. But Valtteri Bottas, what a drive for him. Calm, collected. P2. Better than the P3 we've got so far. That'll be his best result of the season. It's a great race for Valtteri Bottas at my home GP. We couldn't quite catch Alonso here. But Gasly, on his debut for the team, had a horrid Saturday being held up by Alexander Albon, but recovers for a very strong P8 to beat his respective Mercedes. Can't have asked for much more. Can't have asked for much more. And fastest lap! Yes! Gasly, fastest lap! Oh, damn it. We didn't put it on the sponsor thing, did we? Damn it, we didn't put it on the sponsor thing. We could have, but that's sick. Fastest lap for us. 1 extra point for Pierre. Good stuff, Pierre.
What a phenomenal job Valtteri Bottas did today. Never have a team been more deserving of a podium. Everyone must be ecstatic. And this man certainly isn't finished with F1, proving he still has plenty to fight for in this sport. For these drivers, they'll be taking home their trophies and a decent haul of points for their team. A good outcome for Alfa Romeo today. The team have got to be pleased with this performance.
They do say success breeds success, and I'm sure the team will be hoping that holds true.
And after this result, the team is 4th in the constructor standings.
Next time, the teams will be forging ahead at full throttle through the Styrian forest. The Austrian Grand Prix is right around the corner.
So 5 points in the bag for Pierre Gasly, P8 and fastest lap. Bottas continues just to amaze me. P2, what a drive there. Sainz, he lost the lead of the championship. He went down by 2 positions at Canada, had an awful quiet race, and he's jumped back up to P1. So he must have heard me. What a way to react to that despondent Canadian Grand Prix. Comes back in the championship versus Leclerc and Verstappen. And Gasly obviously adds his tally in P8. Constructors-wise, then, we gain a little bit on Mercedes, and we're looking to bridge that gap, of course, once again. And our CFD simulator has been completed then at the end of that one, and that's going to round out a pretty awesome episode here, F1 Manager 22 today. Guys, if you have enjoyed it, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly full-on content. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.